Welcome back to Gruber Motor Company and our Fridays and Friends show. Today we have Lucas of GearboxPizza joining us. GearboxPizza specializes in showcasing new and upcoming EV models and some ICE vehicles as well. Their presenter is their signature Johnny Knuckles, a flaming skeleton. GearboxPizza has a uniquely friendly presentation of the topics that they find interesting. From Canoo to Dodge, cars to SUVs, their videos will grab your attention with an easygoing yet excitement-inducing feel and personality. Lucas, welcome.
Richard, so happy to be here. Thanks for having me on. Very exciting. Anytime I can talk, cars, EVs, what have you, with some fellow motorheads, it's a good day.
Tell me a little bit about your channel. What do you guys do?
Yeah, so, it's an automotive channel. We mostly focus on EVs, but, we do have some ICE stuff in there. I mean, we're basically just big car guys. Have been for a very long time. We do a lot of work in the car industry and then yada yada. But it's interesting, the way this sort of started, this goes back to kind of the COVID days, right? So, I work at a design agency, a motion graphics studio. And, when COVID started, everything was just, you hear a pin drop. The whole industry was just kind of saying, what's going on? So we thought, hey, let's find something fun and productive to do, something that, some of the younger guys, we can, teach some editing to and, some production. So, all right, bunch of car guys, let's make some car content. Let's do it. So That's where we're at. And it gives our kind of younger people an opportunity to, cut their teeth on some editing, that kind of stuff. So awesome. Here we are, 100 videos later or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, the other day I was checking out your guys' channel to do just some preliminary research and see what where you guys started and how it evolved over time. And I just did a quick count of the 5 in each row, and I was all the way down. And it was 100. That's a lot. Yeah. So you guys have been putting out some videos for in good quantity for some time now, since March of 2020.
It's sort of a nice change of pace, because we're very much used to spending months and months creating a minute or even shorter period of time, just like a very big kind of grandiose piece. And this stuff is a little bit looser, a little bit more fun. You just kind of just have some fun with it. And that's where you have it, over 100 videos. It's crazy.
And so you all started this in the middle of, or at the beginning of COVID, as a means to keep those who wouldn't have work working, right?
Yeah, we're just waiting for the entertainment industry to sort of start back up, and this was just a kind of a fun thing to kind of keep us busy and out of trouble.
That's amazing.
Out of trouble.
I mean, that says a lot about a company. When they're willing to do something on that, because on the output, right, there's no financial gain to this, right? As a matter of fact, you're losing money.
No. There's right? no money in any of this at all, which is fine. Totally fine. So it's a labor of love, and that's totally cool.
Yeah, and they chose to do that rather than saying, all right, well, we don't have work, so we're going to lay you guys off. I think that speaks volumes about the kind of leadership that you guys have.
We got a lot of good people. What can I say? But
I'll tell you a little bit about how I found your guys' channel. It was just a couple months ago. My boss, Jesse, had sent me an article on this new company called Canoo. And I saw it, and I immediately fell in love. The looks of the vehicle were, the love for that came later, but the idea of a small company, America-based, putting the work in here, and investments here, that tugs at my heartstring. I love this country, and I want to see it to do well. And so any company that is small, it's an underdog, right? And it's keeping everything in-house, which is not cost effective, but they're doing it for the fact that it's this country. And so that bodes well with me. So I fell in love with that.
Totally agree.
And then then the looks came later. It's a pretty cool looking vehicle. But I looked up online at the behest of my boss, saying, don't just jump into it, do some research. And your guys' was the first video that came up.
I mean, we don't exactly hide the fact that we're huge Canoo fans. I mean, love everything about it. It comes first and foremost from a styling perspective, and they're really doing something pretty different here. I mean, it's just completely different than, make basically a minivan, badass. Was that even possible? I guess it is. So there we go. And then there's that truck, which to me is kind of the coolest I don't know, the thing's just awesome. I can't wait to have one. I hope I can get one at some point. That would be amazing. I hope they make it. But yeah, big fans of Canoo for a lot of the reasons you said. You know, it's an American startup. And look, when you look at historically, we are in the middle of a just gigantic shift in what automotive is. I mean, for the last 100 years, it's been very simple internal combustion engines. If you can make those, then you can make a car, right? This sort of evened out the playing field. Its electric motors are much more simple. You know, it's battery, some motors, and then you're just building the carriage around it, right? I mean, I know it's much more complicated than that for sure, but I think it's making it possible for, you know, these new guys to really give it a shot. And I think, you know, the consumer, especially the younger people, are interested in these new sort of angles, right? So I think if Canoo can make it, if they can just get out of this, you know, sort of rough patch right now, I think there's bright skies on the horizon.
I agree, and they're. I mean, when you look at an ICE vehicle, right, you have all those moving parts. You have to be a master at each component with that vehicle, right? And so that narrows the field down to your major manufacturers, Ford, GM.
It totally does. And if you think about it, there's a lot of, you know, Mercedes, BMW, Porsche. They make them, you know, even Detroit with these Hellcat motors. These are amazing pieces of engineering. They're marvels, right? So many moving parts and so efficient. When you look at the horsepower per liter modern motors are getting now, it's unbelievable. But the switch to electric is sort of evening out the playing field. You know, when you think about all the years in R&D that goes into building these amazingly compact and powerful motors, now we're going to electric. It's a totally different thing. It's software and it's materials and it's you know, it's just different.
100%. It might as well be a whole new industry. Right?
It kind of is, right?
You know, as far as companies being able to join this conversation with their innovation, with their ideas and their creations. Right, they're able to join this as easy as if it were a new industry, and I say easy lightly, right? Because it's not, you know. But you know, here's to hoping for Canoo. You know, we're rooting for them for sure.
But also, it's you know, we're in. I don't know, I think the steps, the beginning of this just real golden age. When you think of, you know, EVs are still, I mean, this is the first page on the first chapter, and they're already this good, right? I mean, look at what's, I mean, look at the Tesla Model S Plaid. I mean, that thing's blowing the doors off everything. And then you've got this new Dodge, you know, muscle car electric. I mean, that thing's going to be a horsepower beast, a drag strip beast. There's, I mean, they're already great, and now progression is going to mirror much more that of tech than traditional engineering. So where are we going to be 5-10 years from now? That's exciting.
It's going to be insane. You know, it is a wonderful time to be alive if you're a motorhead, right? If you want, if you love this type of thing, you love vehicles and everything about them, this is truly an exciting time to be around, to be witnessing it. It's akin to the Industrial Revolution. You know, something just kicked off, and it shot the entire world into this new age of development, right? And this is akin to it, maybe not as drastic, but it's starting. It's just starting. We get to see it.
What a time to be alive, my friend. Can you believe it? It's crazy. We're living in a world now where like 1,000 horsepower is, okay, well, which 1,000 horsepower car are you talking about? You know, like it's like the new 600 horsepower, which is nuts. And you know, with the Lucid Air, we're already at like the 500-mile range, which is, you know, that's more than most gas cars in a full tank. It just is, right? So I don't know. You project forward. And I think a lot of people seem to get caught up on range, like, oh, we'll be able to go 1,000 miles. And actually, there's the Aptera that will be able to go 1,000 miles, you know, assuming everything goes correctly. But to me, what gets really exciting is with solid state and, you know, battery technologies advancing, I'm just looking for density improvements where you can get more power in smaller and lighter packages, which paves the way for like real sports cars. You know, think of a Cayman with a battery a quarter of the size of what's in a Model 3, right? With you know 250 miles range, which is plenty. You know, something, a battery weighs 500, 600 pounds, and something like that could be amazing. Could really bring back the dynamics of real sports cars, which to me, that's exciting. Very exciting.
Speaking of real sports cars, we saw the Lexus that has that manual, the simulated manual.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think about that?
Well, it's still in its infancy, but they're trying it. They're trying to figure it out, and I believe Koenigsegg's also doing some weird stuff with manuals too. I like it. Look, it's a sad thing when you think about the death of the manual. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, if we can replicate that in a way that's just more than decoration, I mean, that's sort of the holy grail, right?
Yes.
It's
in the way that the head of Lexus put it was, he wants more connection between the driver and the car, right?
Yeah.
Not just instant torque, which is I'm so happy about. As a motorcycle rider, I love that. The concept of not having to hesitate. But that connection, because driving it's more than just getting from point A to point B, right? There's a whole conversation that happens along the way.
And I'm totally with you. Look, right now, EVs are sort of one-trick ponies. You point and you smash, and the thing just goes like nuts, right? It's just bat out of hell, just crazy acceleration, crazy torque, just straight, fast, boom, which is fun and everything. But I used to have a Mini Cooper S, right?
Okay.
Love that. Not a lot of power, but man, is that thing fun with the little 6-speed. I miss that car. Boy, I miss that car. Why did I sell that car, Richard? Why?
Hindsight is 20/20.
It sure is. But
well, it's to point that out. The connection with it. You don't have to have a fast car for it to be fun. I had a 1990 Jeep YJ. Right, and that thing was manual.
Sweet.
I haven't quite enjoyed any other vehicle besides my CBR quite as much. There's just something there, and the fact that they're looking towards doing that. They took inspiration from Tesla. Tesla attempted to do that with the original Roadster, but they ended up having to shut that down because it burnt out the clutch like that.
Yeah.
So
Man.
I'm kind of excited because maybe they have a way around that.
You had to bring up the Roadster, man. That's the one that got away. You just a couple of years ago, you could find a used one in decent shape for 50, 60 grand, maybe 70, 80 grand for sure. Now, I mean, I think it's over. They're too expensive. They're crazy. I mean, they're amazing. Maybe get one now, because you won't be able to afford one in 2 years, sort of thing.
That's a possibility. On our website, we have a matchmaking service, and they're selling from anywhere between 100,000 and the most expensive Tesla ever sold was sold on our website for around 300,000. We can't say exactly how much, but it was an original Tesla Roadster. But they're selling from typically between 100 and 150 right now. Now, if you check out the website, we have some listed for like 1.8 million, 1.25 million. That's where these collectors are anticipating this price is going to go. So maybe now is the time. Who knows?
Well, I mean, there's only so many of them, right?
True.
So it's been a lot of fun, with this YouTube thing. It really has. And look, regardless, don't really care if the channel grows. I mean, if it grows, great. If it doesn't, it's fine. But it's a nice outlet, and it's we're enjoying it, and we're gonna keep doing it. So, I don't know what's next, but things like this are it's already proving to be very cool. Meeting other car guys, and yeah, it's been really neat.
Well, sure. I hold true that the best content is content made not for the purpose of making money. The best art is made not for the fact that you want to make money off of it or that you want it to be influential. It's born out of passion. It's born out of love. It's born out of an appreciation of things. And that is so evident in your guys' channel.
Trust me, you're right on that. If we were looking to make money, we would have quit a long time ago. But that's just not what this is about. It's just, also, look, it's important. This shift to EV, it's important for so many things. And look, we're not a political channel whatsoever, and that's not the point at all. But I think what we can all agree on is less pollution is better, especially in urban centers. I lived 20 years in LA, right? And it was something amazing happened in the first month of COVID. Nobody was driving. I mean, the air was clean, and you could almost taste the difference. I'm not even like joking. The air was clean. You could see forever things you couldn't see before, right? And it's just like, this is just from people not driving their gas cars. I mean, that's all that happened, right? So if we can just start replacing those gas cars with electric cars, clean that air up, I think it's just going to have, a huge benefit for society. It's just the right thing to do, and it's going to happen. And if we can help in any way, sort of get the people excited, I mean, then that's a good thing.
Agreed. And you did that with me, so at least there's one mission success here.
Awesome.
When I watch your guys' videos, and I got fired up for Canoo. I got fired up for the future. No, you all have videos on like Nobe, right? You have you did a wonderful video on Aptera, which check it out. Both those videos are grand. And there's so much innovation coming. There's so much new things coming, and it's hard not to get excited with it.
It just is, because you're right. You're totally right. I mean, there's been like small coach builders like here and there for a long time, but it's now just to see what's being created. I mean, when with starting really, with the shift to electric, it's like a blank canvas, and just see what companies and people are coming up with. It's pretty exciting. Plus, what I'm super excited about is, looking forward is, I hope somebody can start making these kits, motor and battery kits that are somewhat affordable, that are like resto mod friendly. Like just get, I just have this dream of like a mid 60s muscle car, and I'm not talking anything fancy or anything valuable, but just any Camaro or even a fastback Mustang, and then just resto mod that thing, see what happens.
There's a few companies that do that right now. There's a company out in Tempe called Legacy, and they do crate engines or EV mods for Range Rover Defenders or Land Rover Defenders. I've seen them do minis, right? Some of the older ones. They have a kit for my truck. I drive an F-150. Nice. It's a little up there in price right now, but as technology goes, and as the production of these things and the technology gets better, we're going to see the price drop. We're going to see these things become more affordable for the middle class, right? And I think that right now is a huge turn off for most people, is these things are expensive. But what they don't understand is that that's not how it's going to be, right?
It's true.
In 5,
it's
10
true.
years,
I mean, that's sort of the problem right now with EVs, is even the cheap ones are expensive. But I guess all cars are sort of just expensive now. I mean, look what a loaded Civic costs now, right? But you see things like Rivians, and Rivians are amazing, and I'm sure everybody would love to have one, but you're still, I mean, that's like $100,000 car, and then like the Lucid Air with its 500 miles of range, it's like close to $200,000 for that top trim. So even the F-150 Lightning, which I thought was going to be like this generation's Model T, like I really did. I thought Ford, they can figure it out and produce this thing, sell it at a fair, good price. But I don't know, I felt a little bait and switchy when I started, going on the configurator, started building that, and like, oh, that, $45,000 truck I was hoping is actually $85,000. So.
Yep, I noticed the same thing, and it's easy to get discouraged when you see something you want and it just jumps like that,
true.
But at the same time, again, this is not how it's going to be forever. Yeah,
and look, it's moving the way technology. It's going to get cheaper. It's going to get cheaper and cheaper. I remember my first friend who had a 42-inch plasma. I think got over like $7,000. He's like, now you can get a TV for, a nice TV for like $300.
Yep.
So.
Well, here's to hoping for a Canoo for $300 at some point in the future.
Yeah, I'll just take a Canoo at any price at this point. Just anything reasonable, and that's another some appeal about Canoo. It's hopefully they can keep the price in check, and it's not another $80,000-$90,000 vehicle, and it's something attainable for just regular folk like me. So
agreed. I'm going for that camper shell too. I want that top trim package, and I'm really hoping.
I'm really hoping that truck it's not with the camper shell.
That thing is sweet.
How good is? Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a fun ride. We're gonna keep doing it. If you guys want to hang out, you know, we have some fun. Like, it's not a super educational channel. We just, you know, it's just kind of broad strokes, you know, having some fun and just trying to show some new and interesting. I mean, like, who's ever heard of Nobe before?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Not me.
It's an obscure Estonian EV maker that's, I don't know, probably never going to get into production whatsoever, but it's at least interesting to see what's happening, you know?
Absolutely. And like I said, if y'all haven't seen that video, check it out. These vehicles are beautiful. They're made to look like 1950s vehicles.
You see that 50s truck? I mean, it looks straight out of that Pixar, like, Cars thing movie, right?
Yep.
Straight out of that as an EV. So, I don't know. Like I said, total long shot, but, I mean, it could happen. I like to, you know, pretend it could happen until somebody tells me otherwise. You know, I'd rather live in a world where that's possible than not possible. Let me put it that way.
It's much better to live with hope than without.
Absolutely. But yeah.
Cool. Well, awesome. I think that's all the questions I had. So looking
Richard,
forward.
thank you so much for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure. And again, anytime you can wrap some car talk with some motorheads, that is a good day. So today is a good day, my friend.
I agree. Thank you so much for joining us for the show today. Do you want to plug your channel? It's Pizza Gearbox.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's GearboxPizza on YouTube. Check it out. And, you know, the Motion Design Studios, Antenna Creative. We're in LA. Well, we're in LA. Some of us are still in LA, but we're kind of remote now. But we do a lot of car stuff. Yeah, again, thanks so much.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna highly recommend his channel. You know, it's wonderful. The way that they present information, the excitement, the genuine passion for what they talk about is so clearly present. You're missing out if you're not watching their videos. So check them out. All right. Well, thank you again for coming on the show. Thank you all for watching Fridays and Friends. We'll see you next time.